That's
but
like
I
a
didn't.
cultural thing.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that too. And also the fact that I've like grown up with
Well, that's
my
why
family who is quite dysfunctional, so I just
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
can't
yeah.
detect whether they're
Yeah,
acting
when-
weird or they're just being
Well, your mum teached you to poo in the middle of the street in, remember, comfortable.
not middle of the street.
Remember, she said, oh,
I said
No, it
public
was on top of
toilet.
the, no, it was on a toilet, but she stood
didn't.
on top of the toilet
No,
and
she didn't.
squatted.
She taught me to poop properly, not by
what, by
squatting.
standing on the toilet?
No, she
This
told
is
me
how
not to.
ladies do
See, this is
it.
what I'm saying. You guys like take it completely different. I mean, you take it completely opposite.
Yeah, I'm
I
not getting on
said.
this. Screw you.
I used to do that, and she told me not to do that because from now on, the toilets are going to be like that in the future. So I have to make myself comfortable sitting my ass down, not putting my leg
That's not
up.
the way she
No, that's not how you
described
told it
it.
on
That
Saturday.
is not how you
No,
described
you described
it.
that your mum taught you how to stand on the
Yeah.
toilet and squat and shit.
No,
and
no,
then you and your
that's-
sister did it in tandem back to
Yeah,
back. 'Cause me and Liam did it.
It's yeah.
No.
She must sit there, 'cause,
I
like,
know.
if you genuinely didn't explain it that way, she
Okay.
must sit there and be like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Because we just suddenly start going, Scotty, shitty, shit.
No, I'm not gonna put this in. But when I was in Nepal, all the
Yeah,
toilets
it
were
always
squatting.
out.
Yeah, so you have to squat, right? So every time I used to go to toilet, she had to go to, and there's only one toilet that everybody has to share. And then she would come in, and then I'm like in the middle of pooping, and the door can't lock for some reason. She would come in and said, "Okay, you move a little." Squat over there, and I'm gonna squat here, and then like ass to ass, like we would poop. I absolutely hated that, disgusted, but I can't take half poop on my ass and get out, right?
Why didn't you just
So when did you
bash
climb
her?
on the toilet?
That's when I first came to moving to Hong Kong. That was the first time we saw a toilet like that.
Yeah.
You standing
And
on-
yeah, and then even then toilet like that, the first time I wanted to pee, I was like, I don't know how to pee on this, and my mom was like, just sit on it,
Yeah,
but luckily I had seen it once on a book, like the girl trying to pee.
Oh,
Everybody
that's-
poops.
No, on trying to pee on the toilet, and she was just sitting on the. It was a storybook where she was trying to like pee or poo, and she was sitting on the toilet. So I thought, oh, I'm supposed to sit there, but it felt disgusting because like I've never
You
sat.
sat on something.
Yeah,
Just
to
look
pee or
through,
poo.
yeah.
So
That is not how she described it on Saturday.
no, that was. I mean, I couldn't like finish my story anyway because it jumps from one to another, the topic all the time. Where was I?
You sitting on the toilet was gross.
Yeah, anyway, like after we came to Hong Kong, like after a year later, we were just standing on it anyway. So standing and doing because my sister was doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
So later my mom said I have to, I mean, when she saw us doing that, she
So
said...
you started to sit on the loo and then you're like, this is gross, I'm going to stand on it instead and squat.
Yeah, because I wasn't comfortable. I mean, I've never sat on it, so I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
comfortable.
Stand on it. It's
So it's like
Yeah, it
literally...
seems like dangerous.
Yeah.
You got like
It's
monkey feet.
impossible. But it's
If you
slippery.
grown up with that. No, you somehow managed to do it. But I don't know, I can show it to
I'm
you.
not
You
even-
want to go up?
Yeah, I will show that later.
All right.
That's for dessert.
But then again,
That's
I was 8 years old, so I was quite small
Okay,
too. So I
don't
didn't
ruin
know.
the fantasy.
All right.
8 years old.
Anyway, so when my mom saw
Well, I
that,
made
she
the fantasy.
God. So yeah, she just said I have to make myself comfortable with like just sitting my ass down, train myself to do that.
Yeah.
So, and that's
It's really
why.
hard just to sit down and
Well, I guess so. Like, if you spent your whole life just like squatting and then it just comes out,
Suddenly,
and
yeah.
and then suddenly you've got something like up against you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't-
When like
No, he
'cause,
wouldn't
like,
understand.
Before you just have like the breeze and everything
Yeah.
sitting around, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that's quite
and his
nice.
sister's ass. Just
Yeah, just
bumping.
rubbing up against you. But then, yeah,
Should we share the same tissue?
Ah,
I always lower
That's
the
gross.
tone.
yeah, Joe, we're just
Ew.
sat here squatting.
All right,
and
yeah.
like sharing shit.
So that's it. Okay, let's finish this.
Even notice.
No.
Gosh, how should we do this?
I've been
On the
so close.
slogan, should we say it all together? We're weirdly.
No, that's not. We're weirdly obsessed
Wait,
about that stuff.
Let's try it just to show you how
Okay.
shit it is.
1, 2, 3. We're weirdly obsessed with effed up cases, and we're gonna talk about it.
That was
You don't have to make it
roaring success.
You don't have to make it sound so
Being
retarded though.
Primary school.
Let's do one word each. We're.
Weirdly.
Oh my god, no!
Did I point at you? No. We're
Weirdly!
Obsessed.
with
Effed up!
Up.
Up!
cases.
Cases!
No,
oh,
I was
and!
We are
Gonna
Talk.
about
it.
The movie.
Another success. So yes, both
Okay.
of those known. So how are we starting?
Okay.
Let's just start with the today's topic, and then we can do the
Tweedle-dum.
introduction at the end
Okay.
if we like go around.
Okay.
Okay.
So today's topic, we are going to talk about our personal effed up stories.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mine's more about of attempted kidnapping.
Ooh.
It was me they were kidnapping.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you?
9 or 10.
Oh wow. Okay. Right.
Did you know them?
Well, it's kind of weird. They weren't neighbours as in, next door neighbours, but they lived down the road.
Okay. Yeah.
I knew the younger sister. There was 2 brothers and an older sister. But the younger sister I knew from school. She was a bit like, when you get one of those outcasts at school?
Yeah.
Where you can tell something's gone on at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was like that type. And I was outside my nan's house one night, and they were sitting on it, like they had a bench, on the street. And I was just standing at the bottom of the steps because there was quite a lot of steps you had to go up to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they were sitting there. But even at that age, you just send something off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then as I was standing there, they got up and they were walking that way. So they were going to walk past me because they live at the bottom. But I just anticipated something. And then as they got to me, the sister tried to grab hold of me and drag me. But she caught my jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And I got out of the jacket and just ran straight up to my nan's house and didn't say a word to anyone.
Wait, you took your jacket off? You let her hold the jacket?
No, I mean, she grabbed it.
Okay.
And obviously I just came off as I tried to get away from her.
Oh, okay.
But they never said a word to me. They just...
How old
walked
was the
past.
sister?
They were like late 20s.
Okay, so they were all in on it, trying to grab a kid.
No, it
off
was
the
just
street.
one sister, one brother. The
Okay.
other older brother wasn't there. And the young sister who I was friends with wasn't there.
Okay. And what about their parents?
I don't know. No one ever went in their house. It was like
Right.
one of those houses you don't go in.
At the end of the road?
Yeah, so everyone knew they were a weird family.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you never seen the parents or anything.
Okay.
1 point.
Yeah.
How do you know they were trying to kidnap you and not just trying to mug you?
I mean,
Well, I
he
was
is like...
Someone thinks a lot of himself. I'm so worth kidnapping. The money they'll get for me.
But he was like 10, so
yeah,
what would
I
he
didn't
have?
even have a mobile phone back
She might have
then.
just wanted your coat.
No, there was... They
Maybe
were
she just wanted to
definitely...
beat you up.
But it's so weird. Who tries to just grab a child? Like...
Weird people.
Did you
that-
say like they were drug addicts or...
No. They were just real... Like, you wouldn't go in their house. That's... You know what I
Yeah.
mean by that? You just
Okay.
wouldn't go in.
Okay. So you never told anyone?
No, I never told anyone, but a few months later, one of the older brothers hung himself.
Oh.
Why? Do you know?
You
No,
didn't get to kidnap them.
never thought about that.
Just one day out.
Okay. Alright.
That's
So like have you tried, do you ever know their name or...
No, I don't.
Were you about to say you tried to contact them?
No.
Ask them,
Add them on
what was that?
Facebook.
Yeah, I mean,
Still
people
want to
stop.
kidnap them.
I got nothing to live for now, so you can come collect me.
No, but it was definitely like I think they were abused, but they were really like disturbingly creepy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like oh,
Do you still
And
like...
that's a lot coming from Dale.
Yeah.
I know.
That is a lot.
takes a lot.
Do
to
you
get
still
them.
have that image in your mind?
I
The
remember it like yesterday.
Do you?
Like the whole.
What does she look like?
No, not specifically how they look, but you
Just
know
the
the
whole
whole
incident.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Oh,
it happened
okay.
yesterday.
Yeah, it's really weird how your instincts. I think we all underestimate like how important they are because
Oh,
your
yeah.
gut was obviously like your fight or flight
Oh yeah.
kicked in.
Yeah, it's weird because I always think, why did I wait till they walked past if I felt something was off?
That reminds
You know,
me...
you might have thought if I turn my back, I'm going to be in more
But
trouble.
I could have just went in the house.
Well, maybe you're just attention-seeking, Dale. I'm having no answers here.
Do you know Natasha Kampusch?
Yeah, that rings a bell. Who's that?
I think she's Austrian, and she was kidnapped by this another guy, and she was put under the basement behind the...
Yes!
Yeah.
And she was in there for like years, wasn't she?
Yeah.
We watched
yeah.
that the other day.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
that on Netflix?
We didn't
Yeah, it's
watch
on
it.
Netflix now. There's a movie and there's a documentary as well.
She got kidnapped.
Yeah, she got kidnapped. But she said when she got kidnapped, she was walking down the street and she saw this man standing outside the van just looking down the road, and she was thinking something's wrong, or she had that instinct feeling of like whether to go there or not. But then she went anyway.
So
because
she didn't have it then.
no, she had that instinct feeling.
Yeah, but I think like that's how a lot of people get into situations because they feel that instinct and they think, oh no, I'm just being silly. I'm just being silly.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah. So I was gonna say that too. I've had so many feelings like that.
Yeah.
But then I go like, I'm just being rude to this person,
Yeah, exactly.
you know? Like,
and do you know what? That's a really good segue into mine because I ended up getting that stalker because I thought the same thing.
all right.
So,
Okay.
are we done with your
Yeah,
kids
let's
now?
go to yours. And
Sadly, I lived.
Yeah, sadly for all of us, it was not kidnapped.
Especially
And
Joe.
here we are today. Yeah, I'm really sorry, Joe. It's like, so yeah, my stalker. I moved to Warrington after being at university in Nottingham, and I got there and I only knew like one person. So I was on like Plenty of Fish and was trying to find. Yeah, well, shut up, Dale. Dale just gave me a look, everyone.
No, because I've been on there and I know the creeps.
I know, but I did make my husband on there, and you know that worked out well, didn't it? So anyway, and so so this guy. I was looking for friends. I actually wrote on it like I was looking for friends, and he was this Scouser, and I met up with him once, and I ended up meeting up with him twice, but I met up with him once, and my instinct was like, this guy is weird. He creeps me out. I feel really like not okay around him. But then we were like out drinking, and so drinking makes you feel, you know, far more relaxed. And also I had that thing of, oh, maybe it's just how he is, maybe I'm just being a bit like rude or whatever. So I saw him one other time and he was so intense and odd and just like had no personal space awareness. He was just like in my face. God, and then he like kissed me at the end of the night, even though I said I was literally just looking for friends because I was trying to like start my life up here. And it was like being attacked by an aggressive turtle. And so, have you ever seen a turtle shagging?
What? No. Yeah, I think I have.
Yeah, they like
so
grab onto the back of the woman and like bite the back of her neck and like half drown her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I and this was like back in the day when we still use like MSN Messenger. You know, like 10 years ago. And so yeah, I was still sort of speaking to him a bit online, and I just sort of said, oh, you know, I can't like meet up or anything again. And he kept being like really persistent, and like there was one time when I was trying to stop talking to him, and he was like, just before you go, one more question. I was like, for fuck's sake, fine, one more question, what's wrong? He said, do you brush your teeth every day? And I was just like, this guy's so weird. I go to him right away now. Unfortunately, he'd found out where I was living. I was in a house share, so I was like relatively safe. But yeah, so he then, because I blocked him on everything, and I was like, I just want nothing to do with this guy. But then he found my friend, who was the only person I knew in Warrington, and first he tried to contact me as a woman, trying to say like, oh, I'm his friend, and I'm just trying to, you know, he didn't mean to be weird, this, that, and the other. And then I was like,
as a woman?
Yeah, like posing as a girl.
Okay.
As a girl that was meant to be his friend to try and get me back on side with him. And I just saw straight through it. I was like, oh yeah, absolutely full of shit. Yeah. And then he contacted me again, being another woman trying to pretend that she was sleeping with my my then boyfriend.
Oh right.
And I caught him out and knew it was him.
Gosh.
And then he posed as I don't know whether it was the same woman, it might have been, and contacted my friend that was living in Warrington, and I'd warned her about it, and she told me that this woman had contacted her, and she said to Andy, who was the guy, yeah, I'm not going to talk to you because I know you're Andy, and if you are a girl, you have to prove it to me. And he said, right, give me your number. Yeah. And so she gave him his number, and he called up and he was like, hello, my name's Anne, can we have a chat on the phone? I just hung up. And then he was like, okay, so now you see that I'm a girl, can we talk on here? And so yeah, that like went by the wayside. And then he contacted me again as the friend and pretended he'd killed himself.
Oh God, yeah.
And I was like, I felt shit initially because
Yeah.
I thought he had actually killed himself.
Yeah.
But then it slowly came out that because she wouldn't tell me where the hospital was,
Oh, yeah.
and she wouldn't tell me what happened, and I was
Yeah.
like, so yeah, that was my story.
Wait, did they
and
take-
also he kept appearing outside my house.
Oh God.
And
Did you think it was a ghost?
No, I thought it was some crazy fucking scouser stood outside my house. But what the thing was, like, I was on the bottom floor,
Yeah.
what was essentially the living room in a terraced house, and I'd see him, and he would be stood. And like now, it's terrifying because we had two big bushes on the front, and he was just stood in the middle of them, staring at me. And because it was like by the front door, I would just open the door, and he'd run off.
Oh God.
So like.
That's quite sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. And then I moved houses like about a month later. So he,
Just because of him.
no, it just worked out
Okay.
that I managed to like get my own place.
Okay.
But so I never heard from him again, and I blocked him on everything. But like looking back on it, it's like, oh yeah, that's really funny because he was quite short and really scrawny.
Yeah.
But someone who's like that, you could really easily get into a situation where like he killed me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, when you said short and Andy and always around you, maybe
And
he's
also
back around in your life.
Also the fact when you opened the door and he sprinted off didn't sound like he would be someone who just
No, but they start out like that, don't
Yeah,
they?
exactly. And the fact that he went to such extremes, like pretending to be a woman and pretending to have killed himself.
Yeah.
Like I say, I look back now and I go, oh god, it was just ludicrous. And at the time, I laughed about it because it was so like beyond the realms of anything I'd ever experienced. But as someone who's willing to go to those lengths, all it would take would me to, you know, reject him a few more times and he would switch.
What was the point of him killing himself? You could have just said, oh, that's sad.
Yeah, and also, how are we going to be mates again? You're dead?
Yeah.
Am I going to go to your funeral? And
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, I can understand if you pretended you was dead to him. Because you were trying to escape him. But
Yeah.
I should have just laid on the floor and I saw him
I
in
think
the
it was
window.
He'd
looking-
take your toothbrush.
He was looking for any type of attention, right? So
He was like a dog. He didn't care what attention as long as
That's
it was
an
attention.
insult to you.
Yeah. Exactly. Negative attention or positive. He's getting it, right?
But yeah, the whole thing was just really, really weird. And like I look back on it now, and my instinct was screaming at me the moment I met him that I was just like, this is a weird guy.
Yeah.
But we just ignore it because otherwise we worry that we come across as rude and you know, judgy and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
I wouldn't nowadays, but when you're younger, you're
The closest I got to being stalked was the guy. Sorry, I'm putting it, turning it around. Took a design course, so I met that guy over there, and then the only seat available was next to him in the class. I mean, he knew that was the only seat available, but he wouldn't move his bag. So I went and said, "Can I sit here, please?" And then he took his bag off. Anyway, that's how we met at first. And I asked him,
Was that your pedo?
No, that wasn't the pedo. My pedo, my personal pedo.
Not me for the record.
There's a lot of stuff on the record for today.
I think this is the one I haven't told you guys about.
Okay.
So
No, I do know. But
okay, so I met him in that course, and I was a bit behind because I started late. I thought like I'd ask him because he's my seatmate now, right, for the whole
My
course.
seatmate.
Yeah.
Hello, seatmate. We just happened to be in the same room, love.
So right, I asked him, "What's your name?" And then he's like, "You can call me whatever you want."
Ugh.
I know. In my mind, I was thinking, should I call you Shitty Muck Shitface? You know? No, I didn't think exactly that, but something along the lines.
Yeah.
See, most people say twat or
Yeah.
No, I like
it's
Joe. Shitty muck.
No, do you guys not know about Boaty McBoat's face?
Yeah.
That's
and
where I
And
got
then
it
they
from.
ended up calling it the David Attenborough. It's
Yeah.
like, we all know he's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
let's go for Boaty McBoatface. Let's have a bit of jolly.
I know, right? Yeah. So, yeah, and then later he said Tim or something.
As in Tim Nice for Tim.
yeah, I was thinking that.
So yeah, we kind of talked. He would like just talk in a way where he was showing off all the time.
Yeah.
I asked him why he wanted to take that course, and then he said he wanted to do some animation design to create some animation for the kids who like children's storybook. That's what he wanted to do. For a while, he seemed normal, and after a while, he's like, "Hey, let's go science museum or something." And then I waited for him. He didn't show off. Show up. So I was like
This
excited
is a great
to go.
stalker.
Yeah.
Doesn't want you to sit next to him. It doesn't turn up. You're the stalker. Jeez.
Okay. Forget it. I don't know.
No,
This
no,
is
keep
the
going,
only,
that's amazing.
No.
like the only time.
How
like,
you stalked him.
All right, I meant I was the stalker, not him.
Oh my god.
That is so funny.
Okay,
Narcissistic.
to the point. I'm gonna cut this
So
part
yeah, you stood
out.
up by your stalker. What happened next?
Right. Yeah, and then later, like, he comes to me, he messages saying, can you meet me like at 3 a.m. at night? And then he's like, can you meet me and all? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna meet you. Like, you can't just expect me to be there at like middle of the night.
Yeah.
While he didn't even show up in the morning for that thing, and he wouldn't even reply or answer the call or anything. And so I was like, I wasn't gonna meet up. If you want to say something, say it here on the chat. And then he was like, I think you're in love with me. And I was like, I'm not gonna talk to this person anymore, so I started blocking him off. But then somehow he messaged me on somewhere else saying, I'm gonna wait here until you come down. He knew where I lived because we were just a block away from each other. Anyway, and I said, I'm gonna call the police if you don't leave. So that was like 3-4 a.m. and I don't know how long he'd been there. He did say like he's been waiting all day, deciding whether to message me or not. That's the closest I got to it. Oh, the other thing.
How did it end up then? Did you see him again? Did you make another date and he didn't show up? And you're
No,
like,
I
right,
just-
that's it now.
we had
That's it. I'm done with this stalker.
Right, no offense,
We just-
this guy was not stalking.
No, right. The main thing I wanted to mention was we went back to class. I had to see him again. I had to sit next to him again. I didn't even want to make a conversation anymore. So he said, I'm doing an animation project starting now. So can you send me your picture so I can like put you in the character?
Yeah.
And he said he's already asked all the classmates and they'd agreed and send him the picture. So I said, oh, okay, I'll do it. And I sent him one picture. And then he said he wants a more close-up picture. So I sent him another picture. And then like he
Now
said,
further
yeah, that's
down
good.
without your top on.
No, it wasn't like that. I said that should be good enough. If you are an animator, you know, you can make anything out of it. And then after the course was over, we had like a class gathering, like for a drink, you know, the last farewell or something. So when we met up, and then I asked another friend.
The last farewell. All our seatmates. The last farewell.
No, it was the whole class. So I don't think he showed up. So I asked another friend. Oh, he asked for the picture. Did you send him? Has he like sent you your animation? And he's like, what animation are you talking about? And then I asked others, and they're like, what are you talking about? Nobody sent him any picture, you know?
I just imagine him like at home with just wallpaper of Joe's face.
Oh my gosh, no.
Everywhere.
Anyway, I stopped talking to him. I'm not gonna put this up, actually.
I think you should.
No.
Worst stalker story.
Yeah,
of all
exactly.
time.
It was the worst.
So basically, if you see it from the guy's perspective, I bet Joe was like staring at him all the time. And then one day came and he was like, shit.
I was
bad
staring
girl,
at
she
his
won't sit
computer.
down. And then she's just like, can I sit here? See me? Do you want to go inside?
Oh yeah, I never saw it from his point
And
of
he's
view.
like,
but...
fucking hell, I just won't go and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And she's like, why aren't you here? Why aren't you here? And then he's like, look, I think you love me. I think we need to have a conversation about this. And she's just screaming at him like, go away, I'll call the police.
Okay, now I see why it comes
Why
across that.
you need trials, because how you put his idea. If we could get your ex's response to the side of the story. Actually,
I want
not
to
ex.
apologize to the man I stalked and thought
Let's see
that he
friends,
was
teammate, or whatever you called.
Who didn't turn up to the music.
You are the laziest stalker. I'm not going to be stalked by you anymore. If you're not going to just turn up to stuff, it's very disrespectful of the victim, actually, I find.
Oh my god, it was so
You're
one-sided.
definitely putting that online.
Absolutely.
No.
You are.
No.
Joe's origin
Wow.
story of being a stalker.
My stalker didn't turn up, so I messaged him.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was perfect, Joe. I think Joe wins. That was amazing.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't my story. But
No, it was.
No,
okay. Okay. So what happened to your? I mean, did you ever look up your stalker?
Well, I blocked him on Facebook. Oh, I'm not on it
I
now
bet you
anymore.
looked him up.
Yeah, no, I have done. Have you got Facebook on there?
Oh, you want to look up?
yeah, look up
Okay.
Andy. And you'll
Oh my
see
god,
what
do you
I mean.
actually want to name him? Cause
Yeah, Andy. Well, I'm not stalking her now.
let me share the neighbor story.
Okay.
I've written it, so I'm just gonna read it out.
Right, come on, Joe.
Okay, Joe.
Okay. Happened 3 years ago. My next door neighbor has been reported to the police for being crazy by other neighbors many times. I just mind my own business and tried not to bother or be bothered. One day. Nothing. Okay.
So sad already. I just mind my own business and trying to get by in life.
My
You
next.
wrote this 3 years ago?
Yeah, this happened 3 years ago.
Oh, you wrote it 3 years ago?
Yeah.
What, you wrote it at the time?
Yeah, at that time when it happened.
Why did you write it at the time? Because you were
well-
like, one day I'm going to do a podcast that I want to tell this
No,
story.
no, I'm like a big 9gag fan, and then there's like different memes where you can use to.
What's 9gag? I'm so old.
Do you know 4chans? Oh, okay.
4chan
9gag is
way
basically
more dodgy.
memes where memes or pictures people post and like they share their story or news of around the world and everything.
Okay.
That's where I get my latest news from.
Reliable.
Yeah, but it's funny though.
You
like
don't read the news.
exactly, I get it from 9gag.
I get it from memes. I get it from memes.
Exactly, that's the point. Memes and gifs, you know.
GIFs.
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 War.
It is
GIFs.
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 isn't it?
It's bloody GIFs.
All right.
GIFs.
All right.
GIFs. GIFs, the toilet
Spray, yeah.
toilet cleaner.
Okay, no, there is a
No, that,
huge.
it's like an ongoing
debate,
thing though. People
yeah,
say,
about
but, you
GIF
know,
or GIF.
there's two of us and
It
one
feels.
so shut the fuck up.
It feels more comfortable saying GIF to me. I don't
So
know.
it's GIF.
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 Okay. You know, why would you not call it giraffe then? Why would you know?
Well, I'm just going to test this theory.
Giraffe or a giraffe?
So, on that theory,
Yeah. Shit.
you call
Talking about something else.
GIFs
Uh huh.
rather than GIFs.
Yeah, I know the full form
So-
of it is something else.
What would you say that is?
Jit.
Git.
Is it?
Dale is a
Jet. Jet.
You are such a git.
No, no. The other thing is, it ends
Jit.
with T, and it's like a closed sound. It's like jit. You know, it just ends like a full stop. But if sounds like it's continuing, so it's like
What?
jiff.
Don't try to make up the rules in language. That's a shut off word.
Oh, the creator.
Elongate it and take it into a story of its own.
The creator itself called it GIF as well. So I guess like you know whatever.
Oh, how do you know? Because in the meme it says
I
the
did a
creators called it
research.
GIF.
No, I did a research. GIF is like graphic in. I can't remember what, but I know it's. I know it starts
Enjoy
with
that.
graphic something.
Oh my god, no
anyway.
one cares unless someone's died.
All right,
Oh,
let
sorry,
me just
no, no,
read
no,
it
so
out.
You said they're graphic something.
Yeah.
So even more so, it should be GIF.
Yeah, it starts with G. Yeah.
Graphic.
Yeah,
G-
someone
if.
made that point
Yeah.
as well. But then again,
You
the,
just made that point.
Yeah.
no.
Not someone. You. The stalker.
Anyway, just
Yeah.
In
yeah.
denial.
Okay, I'm just gonna read it again.
Okay.
My next door neighbor has been reported to police for being crazy by other neighbors many times. I just mind my own business. One day, when I was home alone, she knocked on the door, gave me a piece of raw ribs, and said I can have it for myself or feed it to the dog. But I haven't.
Ribs before you got back.
With the dog.
No, the ribs was there in the fridge for days. But I haven't seen her boyfriend for a while, and I'm afraid it might be him.
What?
What? That
The
was-
ribs that she killed and like got the ribs out of
Oh,
him.
I remember now.
Yes.
Yeah, we were discussing.
And we've never
What did
seen
they
him
look like?
again.
Weird.
It just looked like ribs. I mean, it was a small part of ribs. It had no beginning or end
I
to
love
it.
the idea that she butchered her entire boyfriend and then was like, I just can't have this last of the ribs. I'll give it to downstairs. Their dog looks better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at least she was thinking of us, right?
Yeah.
She is a crazy cat lady, lured all other neighbors' cat by putting food out for them, keeping them inside her
Oh,
house,
really?
spoiling them. Yeah, and eventually the cats get attached to her, and then they
They
wouldn't
get
want to.
attacked by her.
They wouldn't want to go back to their original
Yeah, yeah.
owners, right?
Cats are fickle.
Yeah. So eventually the other owners give up and let the cat be with her.
Does everyone know that she's just hoarding their cats?
Yeah,
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 they do.
everybody knows.
How much she
And
got?
there's like 3 I think I've seen so
Oh,
far, but one of the neighbor who always made sure their cats didn't go to her, that cat has gone missing. Yeah.
They got poisoned.
No, though you're talking about different one. You know, like
Yeah, those went missing. Then the next one they had got poisoned.
okay, yeah.
Really?
See, yeah. So one cat went missing, the other one poisoned. I even helped them like print the missing cat sign and
Oh, that's really sad.
Did you?
laminate. Yeah.
Well, she's got nothing else to do. She just keeps her head down, doesn't she?
Yeah, I had computer printer and laminators.
Not yet.
With long hours. Yeah.
Oh, and another neighbor who constantly used to report on her for being noisy. Yeah, constantly. He's been banned
Which-
from calling the police now.
Not to
And
go
wait,
back to that.
And I'm thinking that because he's been calling the police so many times, it even went on news. It said police have issued a plea to the public after they received increasing and inappropriate calls over the summer. Issues reported include noisy neighbors. So there's just basically, police were basically saying that stop calling for noisy neighbors.
Yeah.
And I think it was him.
Well, it's
that
okay
neighbor.
for them. They don't have to live next to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Calling. Jesus, the recording's gone over an hour.
Okay.
Fine. It's 1 hour less than last week.
Like
Yeah,
half an
exactly.
hour of
It's an
shit, right?
improvement. So, any listeners that are listening, please share your personal effed up cases,
About effed up friends, families.
neighbours.
Yeah, you two
Ex.
could send in a supposed stalker story and realise that in fact you were the stalker all along. But yeah, if they send anything in, they'll remain anonymous.
Yes,
So yeah,
definitely. I mean, if they wanted to be anonymous, if not, then if they want to name and shame them, then
yeah, that's fair enough.
we'll name and
We're
shame.
not holding any liability for it. So,
Yeah, we'll
There
get
you are.
sued.
so what's coming up next, Jay?
So last week we did.
Look, she gives it away on here as well. Neil Entwistle murders his wife and his baby and then flees to the UK when court blames it on his dead wife. But you know, listen to it to find out what actually happened. Find out if he's guilty or not. Okay, so next week
We're gonna do crossbow killer. He's a murderer who mutilated and dismembered the bodies of his victim, and he cannibalized on them as well. And one of his comments about his killing: "She had beautiful legs, and I wanted to keep those legs."
Stay tuned.
are we doing the same as we did last time when you print stuff out?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and sum it up.
Also, if he thinks she had beautiful legs and he wants to keep those legs, then he's going about it the wrong way if he's a cannibal. Because he's
Yeah.
like, they're lovely, but I'm really bloody hungry, so I'm just
Yeah.
going to eat these and
Yeah.
they're gone now.
Well, if he is mutilation, he can keep the legs technically because he's chopping her up.
Yeah, but if it says cannibalised at the end...
No, he
maybe
didn't.
At the top
Let's
part.
not argue about it now, Dale. We don't have
Okay.
Joe's facts in front of us.
Well, at least I don't know this one, so I can't.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I think I'll remember
Okay.
it when I'm like
Okay.
when we're doing it. But yeah, everyone's saying bye.
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 It's like Teletubbies. Bye.
Thank you for listening. To find out more, go to effed-up-cases.com or follow us on social media.